Carla Schaefer, Auntie's Beads designer, and today we're going to go over how to make a chain link crystal necklace. Let's go over the list of supplies needed for this project. I'm using one 6mm Swarovski cube bead. I'm using two Swarovski Cosmic jet colored 12mm beads, and I'm going to be using one graphic Swarovski bead in jet, and this is an 18mm. I'm also going to be using the Cubist beads. These are jet and these are a 16mm. We're also going to be using a Crystal Cal 14mm cosmic ring, and we're also going to be using graphic bead 12mm in crystal, and I'm also using two of these. We're going to be using chain by the foot. In this case I'm just using a Rolo chain by the foot. You'll need a trigger clasp and two split rings. And the wire that we're going to be using is an artistic non-tarnished silver wire in a 22 gauge. For tools, you will need a pair of round nose pliers, a nipper tool, and I'm going to be using tweezers to apply the split rings. The first thing we're going to need to do is prep our chain, and the first thing we're going to do is cut 12 link pieces of chain, and we need 7 pieces of these. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to count out a piece for 12 links in length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the chain to this length, and I need 7 pieces. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I have cut 7 pieces of the 12 link chain. I also need 1 piece of 6 links. So 2, 4, 6. So I'm going to cut this into a 6 length, and then I also need 2 pieces of a 20 length. First thing we're going to do is take our wire and wrap a loop, or start the wrap of a loop. So I'm going to bring it over the pliers at a right angle. I'm going to reposition my pliers, and then I'm going to bring the wire over the top, and then again reposition and kind of round it out. And then I'm going to take one end of my chain, the 12 link, one of the 12 link lengths, that's hard to say, drop it through the loop of the cosmic ring, then take the other end of the chain and then place it on the end of the wire, and then I'm going to wrap a loop. I'm going to take my pliers and put it just above the cross of the wires, and then wrap it 2 or 3 times, and then I'm going to clip it with my nipper tool. And on this, we're going to then string on the 6mm cube, and I'm going to bring it down to the wrap. Again, I'm going to start a wrapped loop right above the cube. And now I'm going to attach the 6 link of chain to the wire, and close this loop. And trim with the nipper tool. Now we've got the starting of the dangle on the bottom of the ring, and then we'll attach the large cosmic bead to the bottom of this with a head pin. Again, what we're going to do now is take the large cosmic bead and we're going to drop it on a head pin, and then this is going to hang at the bottom of the 6 link piece of chain. So again, I'm just going to start a wrap at the top of the bead, and then connect it to that end piece of chain. And then we'll begin working the sides of the necklace off of that link, off the cosmic ring, with the other links of chain. And then trim with your nipper tool. Now we've got the bottom of our piece, and then now we'll be working the sides. First thing we're going to do for the side piece is we're going to start a loop with our wire, and we're going to take one of the 12 link pieces of chain, slip it on the loop, and then we're going to drop the chain into the cosmic ring, and we're going to bring the end onto end of the chain onto the wire and drop it down into our loop and then close it. And then clip your wire with the nipper tool. After I've got the loop wrapped onto with the chain, I'm going to string on a bead, and again I'm going to start a loop at the very top of the bead, and then we're going to add the next piece of chain. And what we're doing is just building up the side of our necklace. I'm going to grab another piece of the 12-link chain, add it to the loop, and in this case we are just going to go ahead and close this wrap off. And then trim your wire with the nipper tool. And then we're going to add to this end of the chain the next bead, which in this case is going to be the cosmic bead. Take our wire and start a loop. Add it to the chain. Close the loop. And trim with the nipper tool. Add the bead to the chain, to the wire, down to the wrap, and again start another loop at the top of the bead. And again take another piece of our 12-link chain, add it to the loop, and close it, and wrap the loop. And trim. And again we're going to add our last bead to this end of the chain. So again what we're going to do is start a loop on the wire, add it to the end link of the chain, and close the loop. Trim your excess wire. And we're going to add the cubist bead to the wire. And again, start a loop at the top of the bead. And this time we're going to use the 20-link piece of chain to end the necklace. So that's what we're going to add to this loop, is one piece of the 20-link chain. And wrap it. Now we cut the chain in lengths. The 12-link pieces are about 1.5 inches in length. You can obviously vary this to your liking, but this is what we just kind of decided on, inches, and it was just easier to, instead of measuring it out, to make sure you got the same one, is to each time count, cut it to certain lengths. But we just chose how many inches we wanted in between each piece, and that's how we decided on that. Now on the end here, when we're done, all we need to do now is add a split ring to one end and then a split ring and a trigger clasp to the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tweezers, and I'm going to open up a split ring, and I'm going to slip the split ring onto one end of the chain, and then just string it on. And this will be the end that the trigger clasp will clasp into. And then all you need to do is repeat the steps from the cosmic circle all the way up to the other end of the necklace to finish the other side. Okay, I've completed the other side of the necklace, and now all I need to do is apply the other split ring and then the trigger clasp to the end to complete it. And again, I'm just going to take the split ring and open it with my tweezers, slip it onto the end of the chain, and then I'm going to slip on the trigger clasp while it's slightly open here. Necklace is complete, and all you have to do is clasp it into the other split ring.